Couch Potatoes and Horror Fanatics. We're back again today to talk some horror, and this is a big one for me because I love the Conjuring universe. I think you're quite a fan as well.
Yeah.
This is the Conjuring Last Rites, also known as the Last Ride of Horror Mom and Dad. I've been very, very excited about this franchise since it launched. Oh my God, I can't believe it. 2013 was that first movie. We had a little baby, and yeah, you were scared. You were scared watching this. It was good. It was good. It was good. I love this universe so much. This is the fourth Conjuring movie, but it's the ninth in the universe if you don't count La Llorona, which they don't seem to.
That's odd, but yeah.
Yeah, it really is. I don't think it's because it's bad. I think it's just one of those things they just decided the continuity wasn't working or something. So just
and it's not. I mean, if you're doing the Warrens weren't really part of that.
The Warrens weren't in the Nun movies either, but they were connected.
But the Nun was in them.
And then, well, that's a take. Okay, so we're very excited about this. They did a really great job marketing this as, this is the last case for the Warrens that you're going to see.
I'm so sad.
I love
hate endings.
these two actors as the Warrens. I mean, we talked about The Conjuring last year because we were showing it to my oldest son, and I think we both had nothing but praises for it. And it still scares you, even though you know it's coming. And I think that's great. That's what makes it so fun.
Ugh, I'm scared right now thinking of the wardrobe.
For me, it's like regardless of how you feel about the real life Warrens, because I know every time I talk about these movies, people start getting all shitty about the real life Warrens. On screen, these two, it could be a movie about them going on vacation in the mountains, and I would watch it because I love these characters. I feel like I said that's horror mom and dad to me. I give a damn about their relationship because they've got so much chemistry. I joked and said, I wonder when they make one of these movies if their real life spouses get jealous or get nervous because they have so much chemistry together. They are so damn good. So even movies like The Devil Made Me Do It that maybe we didn't like as much as some of the others, I still liked it better than most horror movies out there. And that's why this is probably my favorite horror franchise right now. I mean, it's not even close.
Oh, God, I love Ed and Lorraine is like... It's the sweetest
cool.
love story.
It is. And the thing was, it's like a while back, she seems to say she did it first, but I remember saying, no, come on, you gotta watch The Conjuring 2, because it's just a love story in the end. And again, we're gonna make a horror movie, but it's also a love story. And this is how you get both bucks in there.
Well, especially for 4. I think you definitely have a love story going on.
You do.
Yeah.
Now you got the family and stuff like that. So this movie had a little bit of a mixed reaction. It seems the fans really, really love it, and it seems that the critics not so much. But again, I always say if the critics aren't liking a horror movie, it probably means I'm going to like it because it's not artsy-fartsy. With me, when it comes to the Conjuring movies, look, the first couple got really, really scary. And the thing is like with this movie, I don't feel like you're getting anything new. You're getting, the scares. There's a dark corner over there. There's probably a monster in it. You're waiting for the jump. You're waiting for the freak out. Hey, cool. Here's Annabelle. I've been waiting for this. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter. They're running that James Wan playbook, but they're running it really great. And to me, it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I would contend that it's maybe a little Father of the Bride meets horror, where you kind of almost have two things going on, where you have the Warren family story, and yes, hauntings and spirits are part of that from beginning to end.
Well, I'd argue Annabelle is part of the family at this point.
Right, from beginning to end with Judy. But then you have this like haunting case coming alongside that. And they kind of shuffle it like a deck of cards. And I can see where some people are saying the spooks took a back seat, but they're still there.
Well, the thing is that people saying like they thought it started really slow, whatever. I'm like, they earned this with the first 3 movies and their appearances in the Annabelle movies. I feel like they've earned it enough to where I just want to spend time with this family. Mm-hmm. I'm enjoying watching this. I like Ed's reaction when she says, of course you can marry our daughter. And he's like, he's like, we? Yeah. I like that. I feel like I know this couple, because they've done so good of a job building these characters up through all these movies. And I mean, besides the MCU, we've never seen this. We've never seen a movie universe like this where they'll build these characters up so much to where now I don't have to hear all those little things. I want to hear Tony Stark talking about cheeseburgers or I Love You 1-3000 because they built up that character for so long. We didn't need anything extra to give a damn. And I feel like that's kind of how it is with this. So I actually enjoyed the parts with, I know the fiance stuff you probably thought it went on a little too long, but I think it still had the hauntings going on during the whole thing. Judy's getting terrorized by the mirror monster, and I thought that stuff was really good. It was balanced well.
I thought the Warren parts were really good, but I thought the actual family with the mirror, I kind of missed out on them.
By the way, how do you vomit a bunch of blood and glass and you're there the next day?
I don't know. What is the hospital not calling CPS? I mean, I know the 80s were wild.
It was the 80s. Shit got wild. It really did. That's funny. We had
It's
that kind of thought at the same time.
horrified, yeah.
So this movie, we have like a big a spooky mirror. I like every single time I'm like, I want to see some new artifact that we've seen in the museum, the Warren Museum. I want to see some new artifact they had in there. And obviously, this is taking place at the end of their cases here on screen.
But also the beginning.
Yeah. So it kind of. By the way, young Ed and Lorraine, I'm there for it.
I have that. The masterful casting.
Yeah, young Ed. Like I actually asked her. I was like, are they de-aging Patrick Wilson? Because it's just like him.
Just like him.
Yeah, so if they do that Conjuring prequel series or whatever with those two, I think they got their castings right there. I mean, I need to see him act a little more, but as far as appearances, they nailed that pretty good.
Oh,
but
gosh, yeah.
I think it set the stage really well because I told you, I was like, I think if you are clairvoyant, you can see ghosts. A hospital will probably be a very scary place because there's going to be lots of unhappy dead things rolling around those hallways. And I was actually worried because we had saw Long Walk before this, and it hit you emotionally a couple times.
Yeah.
And then there's a baby scene, and it's not going
Yes.
well because like, oh my
Yes.
God, is she going to be a mess again? But I thought that was a very, very touching scene the way they did it.
Yes, it was. It was gripping, and yeah, no, and it brought my mom hackles up when she went into that mirror, and she's like, "I'll be safe," and I'm like,
If you actually go, is she pregnant? Yeah. Yeah, so I think what I've learned is don't touch mirrors. Don't touch mirrors. That's one thing. I mean, I don't want fingerprints. So I'm not touching them.
right.
Anyway.
I was like, you're not touching.
But
me.
also, it's like I don't want none of those mirrors that's like that on from the ground. They're taller than me. That's a no go for me. And yeah, this movie just kind of like further nailed that in. But I think for the actual monster in this, I have to say I think that Annabelle had the biggest scare in the movie.
Yeah, the mirror monster was pretty good, but yeah, and is the mirror monster different than Annabelle? I'm not clear.
I mean, you're going to have people argue that forever. So we watched that thing with James Wan, and I don't think it was Michael Chavez. You think it was. Anyway, the guy that directed some of these kind of Conjuring movies talking about how many demons or spirits were in each movie, but they didn't talk about this one.
Yeah, because it's still in
So
theaters.
I think at this point, Annabelle's just kind of latched on to Judy so much that she can't get away from her. Even if Annabelle's locked in that case, because like I said, I feel like at this point, Annabelle's kind of part of their family. It's been in that case in their occult. It's been in their home for many years since the '60s, and this is in '86.
Right.
So yeah, she probably feels like, hey, why does that other girl get so much attention and I don't? It's one of those kind of things. Maybe Stockholm. She got a little bit of Stockholm syndrome. She's like, hey, that's my mom and dad. Why are you always hogging them? No, maybe I go too far.
No.
But I did think Annabelle had a really good scare, and it was good to see her.
it was good, and it was different. It was unexpected.
Yeah, because I always said we never really saw her walk, and they kind of did something different with this, and it was creepy. Axeman was very, very creepy. Smiley Grandma.
Oh, yeah, Smiling Mother-in-Law or whatever that was, I actually think is scarier than Axeman, although Axeman trying to be John Wayne was also a good
Oh,
twist.
my God. So that part where you're seeing... Dude, I mean, we're like, okay, we know how Conjuring movies work, but I was still like, all right, this scene needs to end because this is getting too tense. Because it was it's like 15 seconds. We're just staring at this, and I'm like, oh, my God.
And then they left the poster up.
Yeah, how would you leave that painting
As
up?
a mom who would I'll actually never go into a basement without the lights on because I don't play, I'd have took that picture down. That picture would be gone.
So when you saw, okay, first of all, we saw how those girls were acting in that house, and we were both like, yeah, we got boys, yeah. But were you really, how would you grade because we love how these movies are kind of period pieces, so how would you grade the 80s hair on those models? Was it accurate?
Yes.
Was it pretty good?
The 80s
glasses,
hair,
the glasses were really accurate.
The glasses on both the younger and older generation. At the funeral, when Judy had that hat, I was like, oh, it's such 80s cringe.
Yeah, good stuff. So I thought the scares were really good. Look, I liked it better than Devil Made Me Do It. I didn't hate The Devil Made Me Do It.
No,
I think Conjuring 1 and 2 were just like S tier. It was like those are just, you hold those on a different level with modern horror. So it was very big shoes to fill.
Agreed.
But I do feel like if that one kind of leaned away a little bit, kind of went more into like the cults and stuff like that, this one leaned back hard into what made Conjuring 1 and 2 work. And for me, that's Ed and Lorraine, their relationship, their family bond. And even the hokey little nursery rhyme that you didn't like, that part, I didn't mind it because I can think that there's lots of people who have like a cutesy family prayer. Your kids had bad dreams. You'd say something, and maybe that's her going to her happy place. I don't think she's trying to ward off any demons with it.
Dude, your mom is Lorraine Warren, and that's what she left you with? Those are not good tools. Those are not good tools.
Well, I'd argue she left her with this. She left her with, hey, congratulations. This is yours now.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now you should bless her with the tools to defend herself.
I do
well.
I do hope they resist the urge, even though I thought they were great. I thought this version of Judy was great. I thought the son-in-law was pretty good.
Yeah, he held his own.
I don't want them to do an X-Files and hand it off from Mulder and Scully to Doggett. And
That's
I don't want that.
Do you think this would be a good passing of the torch? I've heard something about a series, a spin-off series.
I think it would taint it. I do.
Okay.
I feel like it's just one of those where it's like get out while you're on top, and it's like I didn't want this to be their last movie.
No,
but
gosh,
but I'm like I'm glad that they're going out before it got like this again. You know, I don't feel like it got to that point.
No, okay, fair enough. But I do think there's I mean, we've talked about this before with the museum. Like, we want a samurai. I don't know if I need a whole samurai movie, but I could use a whole samurai.
Oh, Annabelle
Netflix
Comes Home had him
episode.
Like standing there,
right? Or the Ferryman.
Ferryman.
Oh, yeah. I'm intrigued by that one.
Yeah, really. I just want them to go there. I said if they made a prequel series about young Ed Lorraine, show me 2 or 3 episode miniseries of how each one of those artifacts, like little mini movies.
That's
and
what
I think
I'm
that could be great if they nail those castings, though. They've got to nail the castings of those.
And not just looks.
Yeah, they've got to feel like those characters. Now, I want to finish this by saying, is the Conjuring universe, is this the best horror universe or best horror franchise ever? And before people flip out and think I'm overreacting to that, you got to be serious about it. People go like, what about Jason and Freddy and Michael? Look, those movies have more bad movies than good ones. I love them. They're iconic. Chucky, love them to death.
There's some movies that are really, really strong. Chucky household.
We have. But I think even the movies that you wouldn't consider great in this universe are still watchable. And I think that you go back, fast forward in time 20 years, I feel like we have established the Warrens, the Nun, and Annabelle as pop culture icons that everybody can recognize now. What more do you need? It's already the most successful financially horror franchise of all time. For me, it's just like, I think as long as they don't start putting out a bunch of shit after these two leave, this could be the best horror franchise ever.
Okay.
And I haven't even seen Nun 2 yet.
Hopefully Nun 2 does what Annabelle 2
well,
did.
It's none of your business.
I hope it does what Annabelle 2
did.
Annabelle
Creation
Annabelle was fine. I neither hated it nor loved it. And then Annabelle 2 happened, and I was like, okay, Annabelle 1 is 1.5 times better.
Yeah. No, I think the Annabelle Creation stands right up there with the Conjuring movies.
Agreed.
It's the only one I think. And I like Comes Home a lot, too, just because I'm so intrigued by that horror museum that they have in their house.
And I really thought and that kind of left a sour taste in my mouth where I was like, oh, we're going to get a bunch of cheesy spin-off movies. What
did James Wan call it? A babysitter horror.
Babysitter
horror.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I love that. It was good. It's good. So I don't know where this universe goes after this, but even if it ended today, like I said, I've enjoyed this ride. It's been amazing.
I'm sad to lose Owlman. Who's going to make pancakes and play the guitar and fix the car?
Sometimes it's waffles. That was good.
That was a great line.
Yeah. So her. So for me, it's horror mom and dad. For her, it's horror movie crush, and it's okay because Patrick Wilson's great.
Not a crush. I just love their love story. He's good to Lorraine.
They're great.
I don't have.
And now that this and Insidious are over, it's like, what's Patrick Wilson going to do now? He's not going to do Aquaman 3, I hope. You know. But okay, how are we going on the horror stars? Or the stars and the pumpkins here? Pumpkins are how scared you were, and stars are how good the movie was.
Okay, so pumpkin rating, I give it a 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was actually expecting more.
Okay. Making me feel like a chicken shit over here.
No, the scary parts were scary, but they were minimal.
Okay.
They were there, but they were minimal. And then for stars, I give it a 3. I enjoyed it.
You've grown so much. I think about how some of these movies the idea of them used to scare the hell out of you. Now you're like, yeah, 2. Okay. I'm impressed. I'm scared. I'm going to go about 3.5. Like I said, I know the formula.
Right.
And you're still finding a way to have me kind of grip in the armchair a little bit. And just, it'll do that thing where you just see the two little lights in the dark that look like eyes.
The eyes, yes.
More times than not, it's a fake out. But I'm like, what if this time it isn't? So it's still effective. And again, it's the James Wan playbook, and he changed modern horror, and they're playing that playbook really well. So I really do appreciate that. For the movie, for me, I'm going to go about, what are we doing out of 5? I'd probably bump it in between 3 3/4 and 4. Like it's still really, really good. I think it could have been great.
I do too.
I do think it could have been great, but as far as a last story goes, I think it was very satisfying, and I left with a smile. And you don't usually leave with happy feelings after a horror movie.
Sure.
You know?
Okay, I'll acknowledge that. I do like how that we went all the way back to the beginning, resolved everything at the end.
Yeah, and the
They
wedding,
put a bow on it.
seeing a lot of the other families that they
Yeah.
helped in Conjuring 2 and 3. And
They
one,
put a
one,
bow
two,
on
three,
it, and I appreciate that. I appreciate a good ending. I don't like being left hanging.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Horror Mom and Dad. It's gonna be sad. It's gonna be. I don't know what we're gonna do now. Because I don't know, because James Wan said this is kind of like phase 1.
Ooh, phase 2 coming
So
soon.
I'm like, what is phase 2 going to be? And I'm just like, I don't know, because James Wan's talking about he wants to move on, he wants to do other things, and it's one of those things where I get worried about. Okay, now James Wan hasn't been directing for a while, but he's still involved. He's still very much involved, and I get a little worried that we're going to get more La Lloronas than Conjuring 2.
La Llorona was fine,
It was fine.
but it was just fine.
Tell me one thing that happened in La Llorona besides a baby got drowned.
Well, that's just kind of the thing. No, I remember that man coming to help them, thinking he was going to man his way through it, and he got shut
I
down.
don't remember nothing.
Well.
It's one of those where it's like the next day I forgot about it, and that's usually not
That's
a very,
not
very
good,
good
yeah.
sign. But I mean, Nun 1, I kind of felt like that as well.
Agreed.
But again, I wasn't miserable watching these. I say that's why I think this makes this the best horror franchise, because even the mid or mediocre movies like Annabelle, I still think I still got some good stuff in it though. Like the kid running at the door and then being the grown person when it hits the door in Annabelle, that freaked me out.
What's the Russell Crowe one? That's the one I think could compete.
Oh, the Pope's Exorcist.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think that could
I
compete.
said there's a part where the priest goes to the clergy to talk to someone.
Oh, yes.
And
And I
actually, I was
thinking
like,
he would
"Yo,
be there."
if Russell Crowe is in there, it's gonna be the crossover we all need." So
Yes.
yeah, I think they are making a sequel.
I
to
know,
Pope's
I've
Exorcist.
yes, I've heard they're making a sequel. I think that franchise could compete, but hasn't happened yet. So maybe
They just got to get
maybe
a
it has
big
sophomore
brain
slump,
behind it.
or
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Well, guys, I loved it. I love the Conjuring universe. I know some people are like, "You're crazy. It doesn't compete with this franchise or that." Maybe not. I know some people were saying like Aliens. There's been more bad Aliens than good ones at this point for me, at least. So that's what I'm grading this off of, and how much like brand recognition do you have for people who don't even watch these movies?
Right.
I feel like my mother, who won't touch horror, would see Annabelle or see The Nun and be like, "Oh, I've seen that before. I know that's from those scary movies that
And
they
I
put
don't
out
wanna
every
talk
couple
about 'em,
years."
yeah.
Basically. So for me, the brand recognition and the movies are very enjoyable. And as much money as this movie is making, I think they have to be. I wonder if they're like, "Hey, maybe we should just. You guys sure you don't want to come back anymore? Back the Brinks truck up?" But again, I feel like that's like them bringing Tony back in the MCU. I feel like it kills it. It kills that goodbye if you bring them back. If you hail something as this
I
is the
thought
farewell.
Tony back in The Sopranos, and I'm like, how are they going to do that?
That would
Talking
be a
of
neat
horror
trick.
crossover.
Well, there's the next Conjuring movie. They're gonna find
conjure
find
up
James
Tony.
Gandolfini. Yeah, that's what they're gonna do. So, guys, drop in the comments. Let us know what you thought about the Conjuring Last Rites. And am I insane? Is this not the greatest horror franchise ever? That's okay. I think that's a conversation. It's in the conversation. That's what I think we should talk about and do that. Hit us in the comments. We'll talk to you there.